Hello friends, this video on aldehyde ketones and carboxylic acids part 1 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. The objective of this lesson is to name aldehyde ketones and carboxylic acids based on their IUPAC name and also based on their common names. We'll also discuss the reactions involved in the preparation of these three compounds, that is aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acids. We'll also discuss the physical properties of aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acids, and also we'll discuss the structures of these compounds and how these physical properties are linked to these structures. We'll also discuss the chemical reactions involved in aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acids, and we'll describe the uses of aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acids. So mainly for these three compounds, aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acids, we'll talk about the naming convention, we'll talk about the preparation methods, we'll discuss the physical properties and discuss how these physical properties are linked to their structures. We'll discuss the chemical reactions involved for these compounds, and also we'll discuss the uses of these three compounds. Before we even start the chapter, the first question is, what are aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acid, right? Because the whole chapter is about these three compounds. So they are all part of carboxyl group. They are all part of carboxyl group. Please note, they are all part of carboxyl group, and the carboxyl group is nothing but the one which has carbon-oxygen double bond. Correct? That is something like this. C double bond O, and the other two bonds, it can be anything. It can be carbon, it can be hydrogen. We'll talk about this, or oxygen, right? The other two bonds can be carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. There's so many options. We'll explore these things. So let's understand all these aldehyde, ketones and carboxylic acids. They are all having C double O bond. Right? Now, if in this C double O bond you put at least one as hydrogen, it becomes aldehyde. For example, you take the C double bond O, correct? So here you put hydrogen, at least one I told, right? Here you put some alkyl group, or in both cases you put hydrogen, both are my aldehyde, correct? At least one hydrogen. So if you see, they have at least one hydrogen. It says one carbon, one hydrogen, but that is not the case because SCOH is also aldehyde, right? So you can say at least bonded to at least one hydrogen. Correct. Now, if both these bonds have alkyl group instead of hydrogen, then it is called ketone. So if you see in this case, both are my R. Correct. The same, you take the same CO and you have two bonds. Now in both bonds you put some alkyl group. It becomes ketone. Carboxylic acids, again same thing. You take this carbon double bond O. Now in one you put hydroxyl group. Here you can put anything. You can put H, you can put R, whatever you like. Doesn't matter. Correct. So hope you understand. See, all are carboxyl group. So in one case you have this carboxyl group. You put one has to be hydrogen. The other can be hydrogen or R, doesn't matter. Correct. This is my aldehyde. This case, both has to be carbon. This becomes ketone. And in this case, if one is hydroxy group, the other can be hydrogen or carbon, I don't care, that then it becomes carboxylic acid. So we'll talk about all these things. We'll talk about aldehydes where you have at least one hydrogen bonded to a carbon, and carbon with a double bond, carboxyl group. Ketone, both the bonds has carbon, both are alkyl group. Carboxylic acid, one bond should be OH bond. Now before we move further, let's discuss some of the other carboxyl groups. For example, acyl halides. Acyl halides, if you see, in this case, one of the bond is halogen. Then we have acid anhydride. This is the kind of structure. So this is my, it has actually two carbonyl two carboxyl group with the oxygen here and two alkyl group. Ester, so in ester we have OR here. So if you see in all these, this is common, correct? And the next is amide. So again you have CO group and in one bond you have NH2, nitrogen. Then it becomes amide. So we have esters, we have amide, we have acyl halide, we have acid anhydride. Please remember these because these are pretty critical. These are the basics to start with. Acyl halides. So in my carboxyl group, if we attach one halogen to one carbon, it becomes acyl halide. If you add OR dash, this is R is any alkyl, it becomes ester, and if you add NH2 group, it becomes amides. Now we know what are aldehydes, what are ketones, what are carboxylic acids, and other carboxyl groups like acyl halides, acid anhydrides, esters, amides. We know all these things. Now before we even start the chapter, let's study why should we study aldehyde, ketones, and carboxylic acid. You must be thinking, okay, you told me the definition of aldehydes, ketones, and carboxylic acid, but how does it matter to me, right? What impact it is playing in my life? So you see, you must be eating ice creams, vanilla ice creams, and a lot of other flavors ice cream, and you should know that generally it's all aldehydes and ketones. For example, this almonds is a benzaldehyde. We'll talk about benzaldehyde. It's a kind of aldehyde. The vanilla flavor which you get is again aldehydes, ketones. A lot of things we eat, their aldehydes and ketones act as flavoring agent. Right somewhere. Flavoring agent. So these aldehydes and ketones act as flavoring agent. The nail polish remover, not the nail polish, but the nail polish remover is nothing but acetone. So if you are a lady, you must be using it, or if you're a guy, your mom or sisters must be using it. The nail paint remover is nothing but acetone. Right here, this is acetone. Generally. So this is also my ketone. We'll discuss about that acetone also. In the plants and animal kingdoms, we have seen aldehydes and ketones and carboxylic acid also exists a lot. In the biochemical process, aldehyde, ketones and carboxylic acid plays a critical role. The camphor which is used in during puja, that is also ketone, and the formula is nothing but C10H10O. This is a ketone actually, the camphor. The paints, in paints we use this aldehydes, ketones. Solvent, if you see, again acetone is the most popular solvent. In fact, 1/3 of the world solvent is nothing but acetone. Then we have perfumes. In perfumes, aldehydes and ketones are used a lot. Acetophenone is used generally. We will discuss about these things. This is used a lot. In medicines, we used aldehyde, ketones and carboxylic acids. We use in fabrics, the plastics, a lot of plastic items you see, right? So there also aldehyde, ketones and carboxylic acids plays a critical role. Correct. Also dyes, antiseptics, rubbers, silvering of mirrors, a lot of places aldehydes and ketones plays a critical role. So you see in our day-to-day life, the perfume we use, the flavoring agent, the ice cream, the plastics, the material we use, the medicines we use, a lot of things needs aldehyde, ketones and carboxylic acid. So with this, it is a little critical to understand aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acids. So with this, thank you. Visit our website examfear.com to watch more and more quality education videos. You can also attempt free online tests that are there in our website. You can also get access to tons of free study materials, and you can also find free tutors and mentors in this website. Thanks a lot for watching.